Good day, my name is Angelo. Welcome to Nation's Voice Tower. This is your most preferred YouTube channel. Let me go straight to the point. The day set aside for the judgment of the presidential elections tribunal judges is gradually coming to a very, very close range, and lots of secrets are coming out. All right, I brought you updates some time ago that Wike and former Governor Fashola, Babatunde Fashola of Lagos State, were involved in writing judgments for the tribunal judges. Now we've confirmed that news because Wike has had a recent involvement with at least two or three of the judges involved in the tribunal. Now let me get from my source directly. This source is very close to Wike, especially now that he has been transferred to the FCT as the new Minister of FCT. Former Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike had paid monies to two or three of the justices currently sitting on the Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal. Can you hear that? Either for favorable judgments in the past or a sort of thank you for a job well done. He has now released those informations to Tinubu. It was in the process of telling Bola Tinubu and updating him on how far. That was when this source picked the information up. And the proof of bank payments that is traceable to two of the judges is available. Evidence that they actually received money from him are also available. They are now under pressure to compromise, resign, or make a mess of the case. Tinubu wants to use all government anti-corruption agencies to hunt them down. Now, this source of ours did not avail those evidences, but as soon as they are brought on board, I'm going to share it with you. Now, very importantly, that is for the Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal. Now, let me give you a secret that will shock you. Many weeks ago or thereabouts, there was an oil vessel that was burnt. An oil vessel that was known to be unknown. It was burnt down on the seashore in Rivers State after all security operatives accosted it on the sea and arrested and seized it. Now, something very, very important, the secret file and that exposed those involved in that oil vessel has been exposed. Now, the vessel with alleged stolen crude oil was a public stunt for almost few people in the government. Yes, let me say that. Because according to our source, that particular oil vessel was a stunt for up to $50 million monthly deal. Let me explain to you how. The destruction from our source now, the destruction of MT Turatu vessel, that's the name of the vessel, owned by Holab Maritime Services. It was uncovered that it was owned by Holab Maritime Services Limited, allegedly carrying 150,000 metric tons of crude oil, or stolen crude oil. That's what it was carrying. Was after everything, that particular burning of that vessel was, after all, a stunt. Let me tell you how. Industry experts who are aware of the game said the 21-year-old vessel had no crude and had a capacity of only 1,000 metric tons. Or like compared to what people said, that it had lots of crude oil in it and so on. If it had, it would sink immediately it was destroyed. But it had no crude. That is why it remained afloat the sea even after it was destroyed. That stunt was for Bola Tinubu to renew Tantita security deal of $50 million monthly contract fees, which expires in August 2023. They wanted to continue receiving those millions of dollars, and that was why they staged the arrest of an oil vessel and burnt it down, so that the government would think that they are working. You understand what I'm trying to say? Now, the NNPC Limited CEO Mele Kyari, Tantita Security, and the managing director of Nigerian Petroleum Development Company Ali Zara have questions to answer on this. While we keep our eyes on the judiciary, let us also keep our eyes on our common wealth. Yes, that is how it should be. Information so far received on the circumstances surrounding the destroyed vessel is mind-blowing. In fact, Nigeria is indeed a crime scene. I will expose that when I have a very, very wide range of information and evidences so that we would confirm our own updates. These are the two updates, very, very secret files that were exposed sometime today. So, if you're listening to this, I don't know who needs to hear this, but these things are supposed to be probed. If the government or if the administration of this time around, 2023, is too corrupt to probe this particular crime, then we'll wait for the tribunal. If they reinstate somebody, for example, then we'll see if corruption will be abated and justice pursued. Yes, so now I have something that will explain lots of information. A court has affirmed Julius Abure as the legitimate and authentic Labour Party chairman, as compared to other reports that had it that a court also affirmed Lamidi Bashiru Akpakpa, the factional chairman, as the legitimate chairman. But the truth remains that Julius Abure remains the legitimate chairman of the Labour Party. In the wake of that, the Labour Party chieftains and National Working Committee have warned Lamidi Akpakpa and his cohorts that whatever they do or whatever they are doing, if they are paid or if they are obeying their paymasters, whatever they are doing, they shouldn't jeopardize the chances of Peter Obi at the tribunal. If not, they would not like it. So let me allow you watch this video where there was a press conference, and then the Labour Party, led by the Julius Abure faction, warned the Lamidi Akpakpa faction to desist from making moves that would, in a way, jeopardize Peter Obi's chances at the tribunal. Stay tuned. More details after the break.
Today, Friday, 25th of August 2023. Gentlemen of the press, this conference is called purposely to clear the air on yet another attempt by some of our former members who have rebelled against the party and who have gone ahead to shamelessly misinform members of the public on the huge progress being made to position Labour Party as one of the biggest political party in Nigeria. As you already know, the party surprised many Nigerians with the huge success it achieved during the last general election. The party became a household name, all to the envy of the older political parties. You also know how the ruling party forced itself into power at the expense of the Labour Party and the general public who have voted our candidate massively. We are still in the tribunal challenging both the process and the outcome of the presidential election. In order to ensure a subjugation of the Labour Party, the ruling party has deployed all manner of strategies to stifle the party, part of which was to sponsor insurrection among some suspended former national officers, which is led by Lamidi Akpakpa and few others. Their assignment was to ensure that no progress is achieved in the party. The heavily funded dissidents have tried to mislead the court and some section of the media to harass the party leadership, but all have failed. Only recently, the Court of Appeal sitting in Benin City affirmed Barrister Julius Abure as the substantive national chairman of the Labour Party. Yesterday, the Court of Appeal, Owerri, which sat in Abuja, while giving judgment in the case brought before it by one Basil Maduka, one of the two aspirants that were deceived by the Apapa camp to participate in their illegal primaries, also ordered that the status quo remain with Senator Atan Ochunu as the validly nominated candidate of Labour Party for the 2023 Imo governorship election. It also noted that Basil Maduka has no locus to seek redress in the court as he is not known by the party. For emphasis, you may recall that Apapa Group had hoodwinked and arranged governorship primaries for two members of the Labour Party, namely Chief Okaigbo Ikechukwu and Samaduka, after which Okaigbo won the contest. Maduka was picked by the outcome of the fake primaries and had gone ahead to challenge the emergence of Okaigbo. He sued both Okaigbo and the Lamidi Apapa.
All right, you've watched that press conference there. I don't think there are lots of messages for Lamidi Apapa because any sort of messages that will be given to them has already been given in that press conference. So whatever they are doing with the Anselm Eragwe and the Abayomi Arabambi and all those people, they should desist from making moves that will jeopardize the chances of Labour Party at the tribunal. Now, that is that. Watch our videos to our viewers, like it. Don't forget to share them to everybody on every social media platform, and then drop a comment for us in the comment section, please, so that we will be able to improve with your comments. And then I would urge you, if you're watching me for the first time, tap the subscribe button, tap the notification bell too, so that we would always get to link up. Okay, now finally, there has been issues that were raised about African countries trying to, develop their own companies by allowing foreign companies from India, France, Egypt, then Germany, from USA, and so on, to come in and usurp African resources. These foreign companies, although Egypt is considered as an indigenous home or African company, if anyone comes from there, but other countries like France, USA, Switzerland, and India have come over time to usurp Africa or African countries of their natural resources, which is not supposed to be so. A case study is that it is the one happening in Niger Republic, even the one that happened in Nigeria many years ago about the oil village and the whites that came in to invest in petroleum. Okay, so talking about this, I have Dr. Arikana Chihombori Kwao. This doctor is the president of Africa Diaspora Development Institute. She has come out to talk bitterly on this so that she would actually use this forum to enlighten and sensitize our African country leaders to stand on their grounds and make money from their own indigenous resources instead of depending on foreign companies.
You had an interview with Dr. Arikana.
Yes, indeed. We have an interview coming up later tonight, the full details of which we'll show you. Dr. Arikana Chihombori Kwao is a former AU permanent representative to the United States, and she's been speaking very tough. Well, she's known for her advocacy on Africans coming together to unite and being one, and and coming together to create a real super park, because she believes that they're capable of it. But let me not talk too much. Just listen to an excerpt of what she had to say on that interview.
Is one issue that the heads of states have been able to deliver. However, here is my biggest fear. As long as there's no free movement of people, it's going to be very difficult to implement the African Continental Free Trade Area. As long as we still have the exodus of African capacity, we are going to have issues with implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area. My biggest fear right now is that because of the African Continental Free Trade Area, we have now put a system in place where if we do not wake up to the reality, we are going to be handing Africa back to the colonizers, this time on a silver platter. Who has the funds to build the transcontinental highway? It's not us, black people. who has the funds and the capacity to bring about the development, to build the ports, to build the infrastructure that is required. It is not us. So who are the companies that are getting the contracts to implement the African Continental Free Trade Area? They're Chinese companies. They're Middle Eastern companies. They're European companies. They're Indian companies. It's everybody else except us. I have not seen a push to promote Africans coming together as a continent. I've not seen a push to line up the opportunities and say 60% of these must be occupied, must be run. These contracts must be given to Africans, must be given to Black people. I've not seen that document that's demanding that X amount must stay with the people. That is where I see the problem going to be. If we do not manage the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area, we are going to be handing Africa back to the colonizers, this time on a silver platter.
You heard it there, and I'm sure that you will agree with her 100% in terms of, when eventually, we've all signed, I think all 48 countries have signed up to the AFCFTA, and I think how many more are still expected. We've done the very first trade. There is so much more expected of that. And that was not the only thing she spoke on. She also spoke on the crisis in Niger. She is known for her very hot criticism of France, and she was removed from her position under very controversial circumstances. Some believe over her views on, how France continues to, maintain an overbearing influence on the countries it once colonized. You can get the full details. I mean, if I tell you all about it here, what's the point of what?
Okay, if you ask me, I would say that she is very right. Hence the reason why all African countries should make these resources from raw materials, produce them yourselves, so that foreign countries will not have to depend or will not have to throw or slap big prices on products and services they give to you from natural resources found in your environment and around your metropolis. That is why Nigeria is suffering today from refining oil outside Nigeria. That is why Niger is suffering today from lots of things that are happening as a result of France coming into their country to usurp their own natural resources. Let us stop this so Africa can grow and reach its potential. Thank you so much. Stay tuned with Nation's Voice Tower. See you next time in my next update from our table or join it. See you. Bye.